Welcome to Sri Info for You channel. In this channel, we are going to discuss about DSP processes for DTSP subject as well as DSP. So this DSP processor is in Unit 5 for EC8553 DTSP and DSP for EEE students. Let us see the questions now. First question, any digital computer can be used for digital signal processing. True or false? Yes, it is true. Any digital computer with the help of digital circuitry and sufficient speed and memory and reliable software, it can be used as a digital signal processor. Second question, digital signal processors are microprocessors specially designed for efficient implementation of digital signal processing systems. So DSP processors are microprocessors only, but they are specifically designed for some digital signal processing system. Yes, it is true. Third question, what happens after the signal is passed through the analog to digital converter in a DSP? For digital signal processing, we need A to D converter as well as D to A converter. We know the function of A to D converter. It will convert analog to digital signals, and that digital signals are processed by the digital signal processor or any digital circuits. So what happens after the signal is passed through analog to digital converter? After passed to the analog to digital converter, it will be stored in the random access memory for further operation on the digital signals. So option D is the correct answer. It is stored in a RAM. And fourth one, VLIW stands for what? So we are having four options. The correct option is very long instruction word. So many of the today's architecture of DSP is nothing but VLIW architecture. So this architecture will perform multiple operations in parallel so that the speed of the DSP will be very high. The important feature of the VLIW is what? ILP, cost effectiveness, performance, none of them mentioned. So the important feature of VLIW is ILP. ILP means instruction level parallelism. So it will parallelly run the instructions, execute the instructions. That is the most important advantage of VLIW. So this is done by the help of different or many functional units in the architecture. The VLIW architecture follows dash approach to achieve parallelism. So in parallel, it will be executing so many instructions. How it is possible? That approach is called MIMD approach. MIMD means multiple instructions, multiple data. So when we think about VLIW, remember ILP and MIMD. ILP, instruction level parallelism. MIMD means multiple instructions, multiple data. And Dash has released TMS 320 series of digital signal processors. NXP Semiconductors, Cirrus Logic, Texas Instruments, Infineon Technologies. So TMS 320 series of digital signal processors are manufactured or released by Texas Instruments. Option C is the correct answer. VLIW architecture processes and multiple DSPs supports what? Fixed point computations, floating point, both A and B, either A and B. So VLIW architecture as well as multiple digital signal processor architecture supports both fixed point as well as floating point computations. In TMS 320 C1X, 12X or like that, C1X, C2X denotes what? That C1X, C2X denotes what? It denotes the generations of the digital signal processor. So surely there will be benefit or improvement from one generation of digital signal processor to the next one. How are the instructions executed in DSP processors? In parallel manner, in sequential, both A and B, none of the above. So instructions are executed in DSP processor both in parallel as well as sequential manner. TMS320C1X, C2X and C5X are example for 16-bit fixed point processor, 16-bit floating point, 32-bit floating point, none of the above. TMS320C1X, C2X and C5X are 16-bit fixed point processors. And TMS320C3X and 4X are, these belong to 32-bit floating point processor. So previous question, C1X, 2 and 5, 1, 2 and 5. It is nothing but fixed point processor operating on 16-bit. And 3 and 4. These are example for 32-bit floating point processor. TMS320C6SR dash. So these type of processors are based on VLIW architecture that employs ILP and MIMD. So 6X, remember it is VLIW architecture. And TMS320C8X are example for multiprocessor digital signal processors, multiprocessor DSP. So option B is the correct answer. Just have a review. 1X, 2X and 5, 16-bit fixed point. And 3X, 4X, 32-bit floating point. 6X, VLIW architecture. And 8 for multiprocessor DSPs. Next 15th question. The dash processors can operate at high speeds due to simple architecture. Fixed point processor, floating point, both A and B, none of the above. So fixed point processor can operate at very high speed due to its simple architecture. So option A is the correct answer. Next 16th question. Who is credited with creating the stored program concept? So the answer is John von Neumann architecture. So von Neumann architecture is a famous architecture in microprocessor as well as DSP. So he has created the stored program concept. That is, the binary words representing the computer instructions are stored sequentially in a memory to form a program. So that stored program concept was devised by von Neumann. And next question, 17th question. Dash architecture uses separate storage space for program code and data. So options are von Neumann architecture, hardware, fragmented architecture, split cell architecture. The answer is hardware architecture. So only in hardware architecture we have two different storage memories, one for program, another one is for instruction memory. And we have two data paths into and out of the CPU between the memories. So hardware architecture is having different programs, different memory space for storing program code and data. Next 18th question. The dash unit in DSPs can perform multiplication and addition in a single cycle. So in a single cycle, it will perform multiplication as well as addition. That name of the unit is MAC unit. MAC means multiply and accumulate unit. So this MAC unit is capable of computing one multiplication and addition in a single clock cycle, and it is having multiplier, set of registers, shifter and an ALU. So MAC unit comprises of multiplier, set of registers, shifter and then arithmetic logic unit. So all these are together called as MAC unit. Next 19th question. The general purpose microprocessors are based on which architecture? Hardware, VLIW, modified hardware architecture, von Neumann architecture. So the general purpose microprocessors are based on von Neumann architecture. Only single memory block to store program and data, and it will have only single bus to transfer data to and from the CPU. So in a von Neumann architecture, single memory to store both program and data. In hardware architecture, separate memory for storing program and data. Next question, the architecture that employs instruction level parallelism. So already we have studied ILP. So which architecture employs ILP? Von Neumann architecture. So option D is the correct answer. Next 21st question. The pipelining refers to what? Let us read options one by one. Prefetching instructions and storing in a FIFO queue, first in first out queue, fetching instruction and data simultaneously, executing different phases of two or more instructions in parallel, executing different instruction in parallel using two or more computational units. Option C is the correct answer. Pipelining means executing different phases of two or more instructions in parallel. So different phases, for example, the basic four phases of pipelining is fetching, decoding, read and execute. So different phases of instructions can be executed in parallel. That is the advantage of pipelining. So the DSP processor employs this pipelining technique. Next question. The number of instruction cycle required for executing a program in microprocessor with no pipelining is, so without pipelining, how many cycle is required to execute a program is 4. Option D is the correct answer. That is fetch, decode, read and execute. Next question. The number of instructions that can be executed in parallel is called depth or level of pipelining. The number of instructions that can be executed in parallel, it is called as what? Depth or level of pipelining. It is true or false? Yes, it is true. For example, a 4-stage pipeline has a pipeline depth of 4. So 4 stages means here fetching stage and then decoding stage, reading stage, executing stage. So if in 4 stages, if it is executing the instruction, it is the pipeline depth is 4. Suppose the processor is taking 6 stages to execute, then the depth or level of pipelining is 6. Okay. Next question. The addressing mode that is convenient for FFT computation. Suppose if a processor is doing FFT computation, which type of addressing mode it is convenient for that? It is nothing but bit reversed addressing. Because we have studied in fast Fourier transform, the bits are bit reversed. In FFT, DIT FFT, inputs will be in bit reverse order and output will be in normal order. So for getting the data, the bit reverse addressing is used here for efficient computation of FFT. Next question. The dash addressing mode, when the address pointer is incremented, the address will be checked with the ending memory address of the circular buffer. So here is a key point. We are having a circular buffer. So answer is circular mode. So only in circular mode, addressing mode, circle means where we start. When we draw a circle, when we start at a point, we will come and end at the same point. Similarly, in circular buffer, so when the address pointer is incremented, automatically we will check the ending memory address in the circular buffer. Because after that, it has to get the data for execution. So that circular addressing mode is used when we are using circular buffering. Next question, 27th question. The addressing that permits the content in internal register of the CPU and I/O to be accessed as memory location. So the content is accessed as memory location is nothing but memory mapped addressing. Option D is the correct answer. Next important thing, ARAU stands for what? So ARAU stands for, the option B is correct answer, auxiliary register arithmetic unit. So what is this auxiliary register arithmetic unit? It performs arithmetic operations. So related to what? Related to the address generation for indirect addressing mode like increment, decrement, indexing operation, bit reverse address generation, circular address generation. So wherever, so we know that we need the address generation. At that situation, we are using this ARU in the DSP processor, auxiliary register arithmetic unit. Next question, TMS320C5X processor, which operations are performed by compare, select and store unit? So CSSU means compare, select and store unit. So what it will do? It will do selection of large word in accumulator for storing into the data memory. Compare. So comparison between high and low level word of accumulator, and maintain the record of transition histories. So all the three can be done by CSSU. So advantage, one of the main advantage of C5X is also compare, select and store unit. Next question, in TMS 320C5X processor, which memory segment provides interfacing to external memory mapped peripherals and also serves as extra data storage space? So answer for this is IO memory. So input output memory segment provides interfacing to the external memory mapped peripherals. So basic question only. Next, in DSP processor, what kind of queuing is undertaken or executed through instruction register and instruction cache? Instruction register and instruction cache memory, so will use implicate queuing. Next question, in DSP processor, which among the following maintains the track of addresses of input data as well as the coefficients stored in data and program memories? So the answer for this is data address generator, DAX. DAX means data address generator. So what it will do, it will track the addresses of input data. So data address generator will track as well as the coefficients stored in the data and program memory. So coefficients of filters, where it is stored either in data or program memory, and the tracking of address of input data. This can be done by data address generator, not by the program sequences, barrel shifter or MAC. It will be done by DAX. And next third question. Which units are generally involved in multiply and accumulate? Which units are generally involved in multiply and accumulate? So multiply and accumulate. So these units are generally involved in, which units are generally involved in multiply and accumulate? Adder, multiplier, accumulator, all of the above. So all of the above. So all the units present in MAC is multiplier, adder and then accumulator. The total memory space of TMS320C5X family processor. The total memory space here is total, not the physical space, total memory space is option A, 224 kilowords here. The size of multiplier and product register in TMS320C5X is what? So size of the multiplier is 16 into 16 bit and the product register size is 32 bit. So the size of the multiplier and product register is 16 into 16 bit and 32 bit. So option C is the correct answer. Next question, the depth of pipelining in TMS320C5X processor is? The depth of pipelining. Already I have told depth of pipelining is nothing but the number of instructions executed in parallel. So in TMS320C5X, the depth of pipelining or level of pipelining is 4. So option A is the correct answer. So the number of pipelining stages is 4. Fetch, decode, read and then execute. So option A is the correct answer. Next question, the depth of pipelining in TMS320C54X processor is what? So the depth of pipelining in TMS320C54 is 6. So what are those pipelining stages? First one is program prefetch and then program fetch and then decode, access, read and execute. So in TMS325X, just we have 4 pipelining stages, but in TMS320C54X, so we have 6 stages. The same question can be asked as differently. The execution of TMS 320C54X processor involves dash phase of pipelining. How many phases of pipelining or depth of pipelining? Both are same, it is 6. Next question, the MMRs of TMS 320C5X processor can be directly addressed by how many bit address? 7-bit address. Option A is the correct answer. Next question, in TMS 320C5X processors, size of page address and page offset address are what? So size of page address is 9-bit and the page offset address is 7-bit. So option D is the correct answer. So in this unit, while appearing for the exam, you should memorize these values because these are basics or general question in DSP processor. So these 40 questions are very, very important questions. So thank you for watching my channel. Thank you once again.